guys, welcome back to the Simi Plum Bob channel, and today we are going to do the overview of Pleasantview and in the end for rotation 2 into rotation 3. So here we are in Academy Latour, and we're going to start off with our college sims like always. And who's in college here? So what we have is we have Simon Gavigan and his fiancee Jane Lilleborn. Simon Gavigan grew up to be a young adult, and this is what he looks like. And so let me tell you all about Simon's story. Simon was the bad boy wearing the garb of I don't know, like a punk or something. And I actually liked the way he looked as a teenager. I thought he looked pretty cool and stuff like that. And he wanted to go out and date and whatnot. And if you haven't noticed, his aspiration is changed. And I'm going to tell you why in a momento. He used to be a pleasure sim, and now he's a knowledge sim. So, yeah, he used to be this party boy. He would go out and just flirt with girls and things like that. Really taken after his older brother Isaiah in that aspect. But anywho, yeah, so he just lived the life, and finally he met Jane when he was in high school, and he was like, wow, this girl is beautiful. I really like her. And so he went out on a date with her, made out with her, and all that good stuff, and had a dream date with her. And this is where the things took a turn, because his life was becoming so great, so grand, and he found himself a girlfriend finally. And then what happened? Well, he was playing on the train set in his backyard at home, and I think I got pictures of this. I'll pop the pictures up too. But anyways, he actually died from the fire, and his mom came, and she was begging the Grim Reaper to not take her son. And she was the only one awake during this time. So, yeah, she begged the Grim Reaper not take her son from the fire, and the Grim Reaper played a game with her, and she actually won. So he actually cheated death. His mom saved his life, which to me was so fun and so great that this added to his story, because his that it just brings tears to my eyes. Like, his mama was there, and she's like, I'm always here for you, baby boy. And when his life was changed, he decided to change his life around. I actually did a re-roll of his personality traits and everything, and he ended up becoming a Pisces, and that resulted in him being a knowledge sim instead of a pleasure sim. So when my sim's life has been saved, I'm going to change their personalities around to see how their life has changed. But anywho, yes, so he changed his aspiration to knowledge, and now he's a knowledge sim. And after that, he decided, you know what, I want to live my life without going through all these different dates and stuff. I kind of want to commit to one person. He did. He committed to Jane. He fell in love with her, went on another date, and then actually went steady with her. They actually wanted to go steady. So he asked her to be his, and she said yes. But right before he went to college, he had this want. Okay, he had this want of wanting to become a werewolf. So I let him become a werewolf. And yeah, so Simon is walking around as a human by day and a werewolf by night. And I really love this Sims so much. I love his story. He's one of the people that I like to play because of this unique aspect about him. But yeah, to be fair, I liked him since he was a teenager. When he grew up and he was like a punk, I was like, I kind of like this about him. But yes, his story is so interesting, and I love him. But right when he moved out to college, his mom and his dad died of old age. So he was in mourning when he moved out and went to college. But yeah, that's pretty much his story when he was a teenager up until now. He's in his junior year of college right now, and he had the want to get married. Well, actually, Jane had the want, so he asked Jane to marry him, and of course, his is in the red. He doesn't feel like he deserves her because he's a werewolf now, and when they were teenagers, he was flirting with many different girls and things like that. So he doesn't feel like he deserves her. He's like the odd one of the whole Pleasantview place because of his lycanthropy. But he's still he's enamored with Jane, and he can't. He just doesn't want to be without her. So he's scared of her death right now. So, anywho, yes, and yep, that's where we're at with Simon and with his girlfriend Jane. She is a pleasure sim. So when she got with Simon, they were one and the same. They were like to go out on dates and things like that, and all that good stuff. But she thinks positively about it. She's like, I am engaged to a man who loves me, and she's just very happy to be with Simon and all that good stuff. But here lately, she's been having wants to cure him of his lycanthropy, and I wonder if he would cure it for her. But we shall see if that is a match made in heaven or if it's not. We shall see. But anywho, yep, that is their story. And let's move on to the next household. Here we are in Sim State University. I actually have no Sims in La Fiesta Tech right now. All my college Sims have graduated from that college, but we only have two in this one as well. So let's introduce. We have Sophie Roseland and we have Anthony Picasso here in Sim State University. If you may or may not know, Anthony Picasso is a family sim, and as a young age, he's always dreamed of having a girlfriend, having his first kiss, finding his love, and things like that. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for him as a teenager. There was really nobody that he could possibly date around his age. So he grew up without a girlfriend, and he never dated or anything like that. He was, just basically stayed at home and hung out with his parents most of his teenagehood. Like, I was focused on Sophie and the other three roommates that were here before they graduated. And I I was so focused on them that I wasn't really paying attention to poor Anthony. I'm so sorry, Anthony. But yeah, I wasn't paying attention, but he actually met somebody that he liked all by himself. And I was like, you know what? I feel like this is a match made in heaven. So he met Cheryl Calson, and that's who he's dating at the moment. So he is completely happy. He had his first kiss with her, made out with her, woohooed with her, and fell in love with her. So he is pretty much happy and ready to live his life with Cheryl once they graduate. We're definitely going to move him and her in together in a house. But he actually got put on academic probation in his junior year because he didn't level up one of his skills. Now it looks like he's going to graduate college, but he's got a 2.3 grade point average, so he's not doing so hot in college right now, but that's okay. Yeah, so that's that. And this over here is Sophie Roseland, the second daughter of Kaylin and Sid. So, yeah, a lot has happened with her, let me tell you. All right, so as you know, she grew up in a big household and things like that. She had her first kiss. Okay, so if you may or may not remember from the last overview that I talked about, Sophie is stuck in the middle choosing between Bodhi Ramaswamy and Joel Cook. So she's stuck in between them two, and she doesn't know which one she wants, which one is to her liking yet. But yeah, she was stuck in the middle trying to choose between Bodhi and Joel. And if you may or may not know this, but Bodhi and Joel are actually best friends too. So just throw that out there. Anyway, so So she kissed Bodhi, and she had her first woohoo with Bodhi, and then she kissed Joel. So she was again stuck in the middle, didn't know what she really wanted with that aspect. But anyways, then her dog died while she was in the middle of trying to decide who she wants to be with and everything like that. And honestly, since she woohooed with Bodhi, she probably should have stuck with him because, you know, you went all the way with the first dude. But that's not what happened, okay? That's not what happened because she actually, even though she woohooed with Bodhi first, she didn't fall in love with him. She fell in love with Joel Cook. Ah, so she fell in love with Joel, did the woohoo, and they actually went steady. And she decided, you know what? I want to be with Joel. But the thing about Sophie is, she is kind of, I don't know how to put this. She's very indecisive. She's a very indecisive sim. So she moved out, went to college, and you know, her dad died while she moved out and went to college, while she was in limbo. Her dad died, so that was sad. So she had to go to college knowing that her dad's no longer around. But while she was here, who did she see? Who was in the dorm? Who lived with her? Yes, it was Bodhi Ramaswamy. So Bodhi is a little older than her, and Joel is a little younger than her. So Joel is going to go to college when she graduates. So and Bodhi already graduated. But anyways, yeah, so she actually fell in love with Bodhi and made out with him while they were in college, despite, you know, dating Joel. So Sophie is now stuck in the middle again, and she didn't know what she wanted to do for the longest time. Like for the longest time she was stuck in the middle and like, I don't know who to choose. I'm so confused. Like I want to be with Bodhi and I want to be with Joel. I mean, which one do I want, you know? So she's stuck in the middle. And while she was doing that, she wanted to try to make friends. She had this want to become the big woman on campus. So I had her go around and talk to all the dormies and everything like that and become friends with them. And she actually became a big woman on campus while she was stuck in the middle of her little thing here. But what did she see when she came home from class one day? Just in this hallway, making out with a girl. That's right, she's seen Bodhi making out with a girl. So she caught Bodhi cheating. She considered that as cheating because she really was considering possibly dating him and dumping Joel or staying with Joel. She doesn't really know what she wants, but you know what? He took her choice away because he's over here macking on another girl. And what girl is he macking on? And believe it or not, she's standing right here. That's right, Miss Marielle. He was macking on Miss Marielle. And uh she was angry. She was so angry at him. She was like, "How dare you do this? You know what? I put my relationship on the line for you. You know? I mean, you made me have feelings for you in college, and then you go around and you are flirting and doing this and that with another girl. How dare you do that to me? If you didn't want me, why did you lead me on like that?" So she felt really bad, and now she's like, her choice has been made. She's gonna be with Joel instead of Bodhi. But geez, I don't know about this girl, you guys. I really don't know. But she actually got into a fight with Marielle over Bodhi, and she actually lost the fight. And now they're enemies. Sophie and Marielle do not like each other at the moment. But yeah, that is her story, and that's very interesting. And for me personally, I love Joel so much, and my heart caved when I seen her like kissing Bodhi in college and things like that because she actually went steady with Joel. So technically, you know, she's cheating on her boyfriend without him knowing. And I feel like Joel deserves someone better than that, but I don't know. She was very indecisive, and now that her choice has been taken away, she can choose Joel now. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Joel and her are going to stay together or not. I just want Joel to be taken care of, you know? I don't know. But anywho, yeah, when she graduates, she's actually going to go into the Cook household and wait for Joel to graduate and be with him. So, yep, that is them. So let's go ahead and go into Pleasantview and check out the first household there. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Broke household, where we have Dustin Broke, Allie Broke, Derek Broke, Hazel Broke, Freya Broke, and Sylvia Broke. So, since the last time you seen this, you seen that Dustin was in a turmoil state with Dina Caliente because Dina was pregnant with his child and things like that. So, let me put you up to speed on what happened since then. And as you can tell, Dustin is now an elder. And there's a lot of children in his household, as you can quite possibly tell. Anywho, yes, let's go ahead and get straight to it. So, okay. So the last thing that you seen was he and Dina were expecting a baby, and his fiance Shannon knows a little more than she let on, and wanting to date, not date, but wanting to flirt with his stepfather. Well, that kind of happened. She went ahead and she flirted with Jason Larson in front of him. And I got pictures of that too, you guys. And Jason did not appreciate that very much. But she flirted with Jason Larson in front of him. And he didn't like that at all. He was like, "What do you think you're doing?" And he even lost friends with Jason too, because he's like, "Oh no, my mom's already got cheated on and things like that, and I don't want my mom to get cheated on again." So she actually ruined his relationship with his stepfather for a time. And he looked at her, at Shannon, and he's like, "You know what? I don't even want this. I don't even want this. If you're going to be like this and you're going to try to ruin relationships between me and my family, the family that I care about, that I love, that is like, I am here for my family, you know, and I may be a fortune sim, but I love my family. And you are coming in here and you're ruining relationships between me and my family. You're making me feel isolated. And I don't like that, Shannon. I don't even want to be with you anymore." And Shannon was like, "Okay, whatever." So when he broke it off, it was a good thing for him. He was so glad to get out of that arrangement before he had to live with her and things like that. So he actually broke it off with her, and he actually moved out of the house. So the house now belongs to Shannon Gothier. And so he moved out, and he started dating Dina. And that's when they had their son, Derek. So Derek Broke here is the result of Dina and Dustin having a baby. This is their son, Derek. He is really a cute sim. I really like him so much. He is like the splitting image of his father and mother put together. Like, he looks so much like his father, but he also looks so much like his mother. So I just feel like he's like the perfect sim between them two. I love Derek too. But anyways, yes, they had their son named Derek, and he taught Derek how to walk. But the thing was, even when he was with Dina, in the background, Dina and Brandy are no longer best friends. They actually started fighting a lot, and they weren't getting along, and he didn't like that either. He was like, "This is ruining my relationship with my family again." Like, he's like, I can't pick a girl because it's ruining my relationships with my family. Like, I already lost some relationship with my stepfather, and now I'm on the I'm on the edge of losing my mother. And he was like, "There's no way in hell I'm choosing Dina over my mother." So he decided that it would be best if he walked away from Dina. Despite them having a son, he's like, I can't stay with you. You are having too much problems with my mother, and I love my mother dearly, and I would do anything for my mom, and I can't do this with you, you know? It's like, maybe my mom's right. Maybe we shouldn't have done this. It's like, I don't regret having Derek, but we probably shouldn't have done this. So with that being said, he actually met Allie. So if you don't remember, Allie is Alexander Goth's best friend who lived in the apartment by herself, and she's a family sim wanting to find her love. Well, he met Allie, and he was enamored immediately. Like, I think it's funny that his first girlfriend was redhead, his fiance was blonde, his son's mother was blonde, and now his wife ends up being a redhead. It's like he started redhead, went to blonde, and went back to redhead. But anyways, yeah, he actually kissed Allie and did woohoo with her, and actually fell in love with Allie. And he was like, "Okay, this girl right here is beautiful, and she's a family sim. She is perfect. I need to get away from all this drama that's going on. I need to be happy and set in the family lifestyle because that's what I want." So when they met each other, they actually really fell for each other, and that shocked me because I didn't expect them to like each other, or even meet each other. But yeah, she fell in love with him. They got engaged, and it was a really good engagement. They were both happy about it. But also, um, before that, when they did woohoo, she was pregnant. You know what? He is notorious for doing the woohoo without being married. He's just very notorious for that stuff. But this time around, when she got pregnant, he's like, "We're getting married." So he asked her to marry him. She said yes. And they had a daughter named Hazel. And that's his first little girl that they've had. And she's got red hair like her mama, and I think she is beautiful too. But anyways, yeah, so they had their little girl. He decided to move out and move in with his fiance here, and they moved into this house. And I think this house once belonged to Sid Roseland, I believe. This house belonged to Sid. And I just fixed it up a little bit, gave them the necessities, and moved this back a little bit, gave them 2 bedrooms and another one upstairs for the youngest girls to share and things like that. But yep, this is their little humble abode here, and he couldn't be any happier moving in here with his fiance. So he had a family reunion, and it was a housewarming party to get everybody acquainted and for them to meet his fiance and things like that. So he's like, "Hey, this is where I live. This is my home." He invited, you know, Jason and all them. So he actually became best friends with his mom again, making friends with his mom and his stepdad again, and they got close. And he listened to his stepdad's story about Shannon wanting to do more with him and him pushing her away and things like that. So Jason didn't appreciate Shannon's advancements, and neither did Brandy or neither did Derek. And so he was like, "You know what? I'm so glad I dumped the girl. I don't even want to be with her anymore. I don't even want her to have a second thought about her. She's not even in my radar anymore. Like, screw her and screw Dina. Screw them both, you know?" But yeah, when he actually moved out, let me backtrack a little bit. When he actually moved out, moved in with Allie, he had this big custody battle with Dina. They were talking about who is the better fit to take little Derek. And Derek was a toddler at this time when he decided to move out and got engaged to Allie. And they were having this big custody battle, and in the end, Dustin actually won the custody battle. He actually got to take his son with him to this house. And at first, Dina was torn up about it. Because as you know, Dina is a wonderful mother, is just not a very good person. So she was torn up about her son going to live with her father instead of her, and she was so torn up that Dustin felt bad because he didn't want his son to not be close with his mom, I mean, Dina is still his mom, so whenever Derek would have a birthday, he would invite Dina, and they would try to be cordial with each other. Brandy and Dina would try to be cordial, but yeah, he would invite her over so that she could celebrate his birthdays with him and all the holidays and things like that. So Dina was a very big part of Derek's life. So that's good on Dustin that he didn't like push her away and keep her away. He actually invited her to his home. It's like, hey, come look at our son grow. You know, I want you to be part of this. You are his mother. So, but yeah, anywho, yeah, that happened. And then shortly after that, while he was, still a toddler, he married Allie, and it was also a green memory. So he was happy to be married to her. And he earned a big bonus at work. He earned like 50,000 simoleons at work, so that helped him buy an expensive car, upgrade their house a little bit, and decorate a little bit. And so yeah, he's doing really, and I mean really, really, really well in his career. But yeah. And as you can tell, Derek grew up and learned to study from him. He taught Hazel how to walk. And then they had their second daughter, Freya. So little Freya up here is a blonde like Dustin. But yeah, she's really cute. So they had Freya, and as you can quite possibly tell, Allie's a family sim, so they're gonna be having babies, and Dustin is all here for it. But yeah, and in the meantime, while he's over here living the family life, having babies, his younger brothers are graduating college and things like that. But yeah, he actually ended up reaching his platinum lifetime aspiration during all this. So he's gonna die very, very happy. He's gonna be in platinum for the rest of his life. And then shortly after that, Sylvia was born, their youngest daughter here. And yep, this is Sylvia. She's got red hair like her mama. I think she looks the most like her mom than the other two. So he ended up having one son from Dina, and then all three girls from Allie, which I think is pretty cool and pretty interesting. Um, but yeah, he's just been living the family life. He's very, very happy to be married to Allie. Now, as you could tell, Allie is younger than Dustin. She's a little younger. She has 9 days until she's an elder, and she already wants to have another baby. Allie, I think we're gonna cool off on that. I don't know. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. I'm gonna save that while I make up my mind. I was gonna say that Sylvia would be their last baby, but if she wants another one, we could try for another one, but I don't know. But anywho, yeah, Allie here. Yeah, the last thing you know about her is that Isaiah was caught cheating on her twice, and yeah, that's why she moved into that apartment and got a job in the paranormal career. So she's actually a dowser right now in the paranormal career. But yeah, and then she met Dustin, and then the rest was history. She was having babies with him and living the family life and being happy in that decision. She actually wants to have 6 grandchildren as her dream. So, I mean, out of 3 children, well, really 4 if you count Derek for her, but out of all these kids, she could possibly have 6 grandchildren. Who knows? Now let's move on to Dustin. Oh, Dustin. Let's move on to Derek. So, Derek here, he's such a cutie. Derek is a teenager, and let me take a look. Oh my God, he's actually attracted to Celestina Goth, or Celestia Goth. Celestia Goth. I'll get her name right in a minute. I mean, like, I keep. He likes the aliens. Okay, Derek. He's like, wow, alien. Let me get some of that extraterrestrial. E.T. Kiss me. Kiss me. Infect me with your love and fill me with your poison. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So you could tell he is a romance sim. Yeah, he's just living his life with his younger sisters, and unfortunately his mama did die when he was a teenager, so now he has to live life without his mom, and he's torn up about it. He and his mom were really close. He would always have wants to call her and invite her over and things like that. So, I mean, he loved his mama, and he's really torn up that his mom is dead. Like, I think this is very new for Dina to be dead right now because he hasn't inherited the money from her yet. So I think she died in fall. The last rotation, she died. So yeah, this is brand new to him right now. So he's kind of heartbroken in that his mama is dead and he won't be able to call her anymore, invite her over, and things like that. But Hazel here is also a romance sim. And believe it or not, let me take a look. She's that, and she's that. So all of their kids are going to be romance sims for Dustin and Allie. Like, Jesus. Like, can I get like somebody else that's not a romance sim? But anyway, yeah, the whole household in here are romance sims when they grow up, and that's just going to drive me bonkers. But anyways, yes, this is Hazel, their firstborn of Allie and Dustin. And yeah, she doesn't have a boyfriend or anything like that. Who are you interested in? She's actually very interested in Gabriel Dreamer. And I actually am all for that, actually. Even if she is a romance sim, I wonder if she could be like the Peter Optimus to Gabriel Dreamer. I really like that her and Gabriel like each other. Because he's got black hair. He's like a goth and stuff, and she's like, "Ooh, goths, interesting." So I really feel like they could actually be really good together, and I can't wait to see how their relationship blossoms if it does blossom. But anyways, yeah, she's interested in Gabriel Dreamer, and I'm excited for that to happen for her. Then we have little Freya here, and Freya wants to be friends with Dove Peterson, and Dove is Gabriella's daughter. But yeah, so nothing really much happened with Freya or Sylvia. Sylvia is a brand new child. She just aged up to a child, and her childhood friend right now is Evangeline Gavigan. So there's that. But who's her childhood friend? Tony Autumnus is hers childhood friend. But yep, this is the Broke household. So let's move on to the next household. Welcome to the Broke household with Bo Broke, Georgia Newson, and their daughter Isabel Broke. Alrighty, so let's start with Bo Broke over here. So yeah, Bo and Georgia have been engaged for years. They haven't had the want to get married or anything like that. So I'm probably okay. So what I'm probably gonna do now is if they get the want to get engaged, I'm probably going to have them get married, especially if they're gonna live together and start having babies with each other. Um, I think it's kind of like, you know what? Yeah, they want to get married. They want to get engaged, then they want to get married, you know what I'm saying? And neither one of them ever had a fear of getting married to one another. So I think it's about time in this season for Bo and Georgia to get married. And so I'm just going to push it instead of waiting on him and her to want to get married because, it's taken forever. He's already halfway through his adult life and they're still not married. So, like, they have been faithful to each other, and why not tie the knot? You know what? They're already living like a married couple. Why not tie the knot since she's already engaged, for heaven's sake? So he graduated. He got a job in the entertainment career. He's a level 8. He's master of ceremonies right now. If only, let's see, if only he wants to get his body skill up and make two friends, we could probably get more promotions. But we'll see what happens with that. But anywho, yes, he's in the entertainment career and he's been making money off of that and all that good stuff. And that's when he had Isabel. Now, Isabel, she is an ACR baby, of course. And yeah, they have a daughter named Isabel, and they've been living their life uh, with their daughter here, and he's been getting promotions and he's been teaching his daughter stuff. And he did actually teach Isabel how to study, even though he is a pleasure sim and she's a pleasure sim. He did teach his daughter how to study, and the caveat to that is his secondary aspiration is actually knowledge. So I figured, you know what, if his secondary is knowledge, he could teach his daughter to study. So he taught her to study, and yeah, and he also reached platinum lifetime aspiration. So he's also going to die very happy in his life. So he doesn't regret anything. He's very happy. Here we here we have Georgia Newsom out here playing some soccer and having some fun. I believe this is her hobby. Soccer is her hobby here. So she's out here having fun, and you know what? Nothing's really much happened with Georgia other than, she's just wanting to go out on dates with Bo and eat grilled cheese. That's pretty much it. And take care of her daughter and things like that. She really is in love with Bo. Hers is also green for him when they got engaged. So, yeah, I think it's about time that they got married. It's a little overdue, just a little. And yeah, so anyways, yeah, in her, like, I will talk about these two situations when I get into their household, but yeah, things have happened to her siblings, um and she feels bad about it and had to move on from feeling bad about stuff happening to her older siblings, specifically the middle children. Drama follows the middle children for some reason. But yeah, she also reached platinum lifetime aspiration, and this will probably be an ongoing theme going through my Pleasantview. All my Sims, even though they aren't doing their dream job, are happy in their life choices because I complete their wants for them. So, I mean, it can go either way. But anyways, yeah, she actually, taught Isabella nursery rhyme and how to talk and potty train. She was, there for her child. She was there for her brother getting engaged and married, and same with her other brother. Like she's just happy that her family is doing good. And they recently, not too long ago, I think, well, maybe in the summer, they had a little party out here with all the cousins because they wanted Isabel to get to know all her cousins and stuff. So they were outside playing with this, and it was like a whole group of Sims outside playing and eating pizza and things like that. So they actually have good times. They actually have good family reunions and invite people over and things like that. So yeah, now we're moving on to Isabel. And Isabel has 2 days until she's a teenager. So she's gonna become a teenager in winter. But yeah, I don't think anything major has happened with Isabel. Let's see who her friends are. Well, see, she doesn't really know anybody but her cousins, like Raven, Freya, Hazel. Yeah, just a couple of her cousins that she knows. She doesn't really have a best friend growing up, which is kind of sad. Isabel, what is she gonna grow up to be? She is an Aries. I think that's popularity, if I'm being honest. Let's see what Aries is. Aries, yep, she's a popularity sim. So when she grows up, she's gonna be a popularity sim, which is interesting. And also, as you could tell right here, Isabel, Her hobby is music and dance, and she likes singing. So we got her one of these things, and she's been in here singing in her room to the stars out her window. So it's really, really cute. I think it's really cute that she's a young singer since her dad's in the entertainment career. I think it matches. I think that's really neat. But anywho, yep, this is the broke household, and let's move on to the next household. Welcome to the Burb household. So, as you quite possibly tell, they only have one child in their household now, the youngest, Edwin. And he is about to go to college in winter. So, we're about to say goodbye to him. But as you could tell, he is getting close to the end of his life, and his wife is very close to the end of her life. But yeah, let's get to it. For some reason, he still wants to have a baby with somebody, and he's an elder, and I'm like, bruh, dude. You were at the end of your life. Who are you going to get knocked up? I mean, your wife can't have the baby, so who are you expecting to have this baby of yours? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But anywho, yeah, he wants to max the cleaning skill at the moment, and his hobby is gardening, as you can quite possibly tell. He got demoted, promoted, demoted, promoted, so he's been going up, down in his culinary career. But to be fair, he just got it to help with the family funds, since Jennifer has been pregnant over and over again. But anyways, yeah. So he's been writing novels on the side and making money, and lo and behold, okay, I didn't expect this to happen, you guys, for John and Jennifer, like both of them. But anyways, John actually had an affair with Dina, and I did not know when this happened, but he actually kissed Dina and fell in love with her. And I was like, huh? John, what are you doing? You're a family sim. What are you doing? But yeah, he actually was doing things with Dina behind Jennifer's back. So Dina's been going around all these men that are taken and trying to insert herself in people's lives. And I'm just like, oh my God, Oh my God. Oh my God. But anyways, yeah, his new grandchild, Liviana, was born shortly afterwards. And he mastered the gardener skill while doing his hobby, so that's pretty cool. This is where we're at with him, and I just cannot believe him and Dina had like a kiss, shared a kiss with each other behind Jennifer's back. Now, you think that was bad. Now, hold on to your britches here, son, because Jennifer's is something else. And let me tell you, ACR was playing hard with me because I did not tell him to do any of this. This actually happened during parties they were invited to. Specifically, when Jennifer was invited to Angela's parties over at the Autumnus household, or Pleasant Autumnus household. So, yeah. Nah, I didn't expect all this to happen. Started having grandchildren. Jennifer just felt like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh, I'm old and I don't want to be old. So she had an affair with Rodney, made out with Rodney, did the woohoo with him in the hot tub. And she is no different than her brother, Daniel, in this aspect. She actually went full blown crazy. Like in her elder years, she went full blown crazy, living her life like wild. So that happened. Then she kissed Weldon for the first time, made out with him, and actually woohooed him too. So John over here has no idea that Jennifer had affairs like that. I mean, John isn't good either. He kissed Dina, but she's over here woohooing different men. So, what? But anywho, yeah, she actually finally reached the top of her law career. She finally did it. So she was very happy to reach the top of her career. And as you could tell, her hobby is the bass here. So she reached max enthusiasm for music and dance. And her daughter, Audrey, actually graduated with summa cum laude. So she graduated at the top of her class. So that made Jennifer very, very proud. And she also reached platinum lifetime aspiration. So she actually has a secondary aspiration of pleasure. So yeah, that's what Jennifer's is. And yep. That is Jennifer and John in a nutshell. He wants to impregnate somebody, and she wants to be wild and free before she dies. I think they're going through a crisis situation here. They're going bonkers. They can't believe they're at the end of their life. I guess I don't know. All their friends that they grew up with are dying or dead. So yeah, she's gonna die in this rotation. In winter, she's dead. She's gone, and I think John is right behind her. Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do for John. I kind of want to save this, have a baby, and help him with his aspiration. But who is he gonna have a baby with? Like, who is single enough for that? I don't know. I mean, we will see with John. We will see, John. Your wife is about to die. Maybe you can plant your seed in someone else before she passes away, or at right after she passes away. We'll see what happens with you, John. I don't know, but we're going to Edwin here, and he is a knowledge sim. So let's see. He is the youngest son of Jennifer and John here. So yeah, he actually found a magical lamp, so he actually has the funds, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna get the moolah and what all that good jazz. But yeah, he's gonna get the moolah and things like that. Uh and actually when he graduates college, because he wants to go, but when he graduates college, and I'm going to say he graduates because he's a knowledge sim. He's going to want to get high marks. But anyways, this is going to be his future house with his girlfriend. And who is his girlfriend? A townie named Haley Phillips. So he was smitten by Haley. He really likes Haley, and I think he and her are going to move in together here in this house. And I think it's a good thing that he has the magical lamp, because I have a feeling that these two are going to pass away while he's gone to college. Actually, I know for a fact she's going to die either right when he leaves or right before he goes, and he's going to die after the fact. So, yeah, this house is going to be vacant while he's in college. So, having that magical lamp is going to help him, I feel like, buy this house back from the market. But anywho, yep, this is the Burb household, and let's move on to the next household. All right, welcome to the Cook household. We have Jody Cook, Julian Cook, and Joel Cook. So as you can tell, Joel is at the very end of his teenage life. He's about to go to college and things like that. So he's well on his way. All right, so we have Julian here, Jody here. So let's actually talk about what happened here. So y'all were here for the birth of little Joel. He's not little anymore. He's a teenager now. He actually grew up, and he's still one of my favorite Sims. And not gonna lie, I have a special place in my heart for Joel ever since he was born for some reason. Anyway, yeah, so anyways, she actually maxed a couple of skills. She had a lousy last birthday, which is quite sad actually. Poor Jody, but anyway, after that, she actually became hospital chief of staff, so she actually completed her lifetime wish. So that was really nice. It's like quite a few people only completed their lifetime wish, and she's one of them. So that's really nice. Um, then she got the platinum lifetime aspiration. So she actually has got both. And I didn't set this girl up at all. I'm going to have to set her up. My bad, Jody. I didn't know you got platinum lifetime aspiration. Yeah, we're going to have to set you up, girl. But anyways, yeah, so when Joel grew up, they actually went to the ocean and they swam in the ocean and went to an island vacation and had a good time. And they got Joel into private school because why not? She's a chief of staff in the hospital. They're making bank. They actually are doing very well with their funds at the momento. She actually caught Julian cheating. So if you may or may not remember, Julian has the secondary aspiration of a romance. So he actually wanted to romance. Can you guess who? Can you guess who is the main theme of this? The main theme is freaking Dina Caliente. He woohooed Dina Caliente, and Jody caught them. And so, yeah, Jody was like, "What the hell are you doing? You're cheating on me, you freaking bastard," and things like that. So she actually kicked him out of their bedroom. At the time, Joel is still young, kind of. He's a teenager right now, but he's still young. She doesn't want to put him through a divorce. She's thinking about her son, and but anyway, she kicked him to the couch here, and he was been sleeping on the couch for a very long time. He got kicked on the couch for a very long time after being cheated on. But ultimately, she forgave him. As you could tell, she's naked in the bed. So she forgave Julian for cheating on her. And as you could tell right here, she wants to spend time with her husband now. She wants to be around him, and I'm going to give her what she wants. So, but yeah, that's Jody here. And for Julian, let's see here. Let's see what we got for him. So yes, you remember that he was rejected from a woohoo. He got that platinum lifetime aspiration. So his secondary is romance. He kissed Dina for the first time, and then he kissed Charla for the first time, if you'll remember. He had an affair with Charla and had an affair with none other than freaking Shannon Gauthier. So, as you could tell, he kissed her, made out with her, fell in love with her, and he actually did the woohoo with Shannon Gauthier because Shannon is actually a romance sim, so he actually did the deed with Shannon, which is another notch that Jody does not know about. All she knows about is Dina, and he's keeping that under wraps. But yeah, he also had a lousy birthday party, so both of their birthday parties were lousy, which is quite sad. But he also had an affair with Dina and fell in love with her, things like that. He earned $50,000, and he also got a big bonus from his career, so that actually helped with their funds a lot, enough for them to go on an island vacation and spend time together. And I think him and Nina did not get along at all. I don't know why exactly, but maybe it was the fact that her sister was involved, and maybe Nina got upset. But they actually got into a fist fight, and Nina kicked the shit out of Julian. She's like, "You are a son of a bitch. You know that." So Nina does not like Julian, and he actually lost Sid as a best friend, and the result of his cheating ways, I suppose. But yeah, when he did the woohoo with Dina, that's when Jody caught them, and yeah, and at the same time he caught Shannon cheating, so he's like, "Screw you, Shannon," But anyway, he's a little bit possessive of the women he chose. But he also reached the top of the culinary career, and yeah, this is where we are for Julian here. And yeah, is there anybody else that he is in love with? I don't think so. I think I think now all it is Jody and him, because Dina is now dead. Charla is now married and with someone else. Um, yeah, Shannon is no longer interested. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, all he has is Jody, and he's realizing that. So, he feels very blessed that his wife decided to forgive him and stay with him and things like that. But I'm sorry, Jody, but that could not be me. Anyway, trust issues. Trust issues. Um, Now we're moving on to their son, Joel here. Joel Cook. And as you can tell, he is into sports. He loves sports and he loves soccer, most importantly. So he spent all his teenagehood playing soccer and having fun with that. I think he actually, yeah, he maxed his body skill playing soccer. He's actually employed in the science career and he actually reached the top of that career. So, yeah, he actually was an overachiever. Hell yeah. But anywho, yeah, as you know, his best friend is Bodhi Ramaswamy. His very first kiss was with Sophie Roseland. He couldn't help himself. He found her to be extraordinarily beautiful. He was just so enamored with her. So didn't take very long for him and Sophie to get together, and she is his first woohoo. And he asked her to go steady, and she said yes. And they actually had a big party for both families. The Roseland family and the Cook family all came together and met each other and celebrated them to being together and things like that. Um, yeah, it was a whole big ordeal. Now that you know what Sophie's been dealing with, like that was pretty crazy to have both families there celebrating them being together and meeting each other and becoming friendly with one another and things like that. But yeah, he had the want to learn sociology, max his body skills as a result of it, and was an overachiever. So he's all ready to go to college and graduate and live life with Sophie here in this house. So this is where Sophie's going to come and live while she waits for her boyfriend, Joel, to graduate college. So that should be great. But yep, this is the Cook household, and let's move on to the next household. Welcome to the Dreamer household. Now, this is the very last household of the season, so we just got done playing them in the fall season, and as you can tell, they are still mega breakfast and feeding little Diara here. But what is different now is that out in the front lawn, we have Magdalene Gavigan and Dominique Dreamer standing outside, ready to come in and move into their bedroom, which will be this room upstairs. Yeah, I'm not going to go into much detail about Warren and Deborah and their daughter Diara because, you know, they had a whole dang episode about them. So if you want it in more detail, go ahead and go to the video of them two. I'll probably leave a link up here in the top corner of the screen for you guys for easy access. But anyways, yep. So basically, Deborah and Warren are dating each other, and they have a daughter named Diara when they graduated college. And they're both employed. He's in the athletic career, she's in the science career, and they are living their life together. Now, fresh out of college, we have Dominique and Magdalene here. So, yeah. So let's see. Right now, you know what? She went to college with Simon, and she's actually friends with him, and she kind of wants to become a werewolf herself. So we might actually allow Dominique to become a werewolf. We shall see about that, but she actually wanted to become a werewolf, and she doesn't she thinks Simon being a werewolf is really really cool. She does not want him to get cured of it, so she's just like, don't get cured of it, that's so awesome, I kind of want to be one too. But I don't think Magdalene's going to be happy about that, honestly. But anyway, yeah. So for Dominique here, her hobby is to restore cars. So that's what she's been doing before she actually went to college. She restores cars for her hobby and has fun with that. And of course, she is dating Magdalene Gavigan, and that is her girlfriend. So yeah, you remember Magdalene Gavigan had a little incident with Skip Broke, and she was just like, you know what? Women wouldn't treat each other this way, so I'm going to date women now. Okay, okay. So that's where Magdalene went. She actually found Dominique, and their love blossomed. Like, it was just really fast. Like, they met each other, bam, they fell in love, they got together, went steady and things like that. So yeah, it was fast paced, and she loved it. But the thing about Dominique here, Dominique, what is she? She graduated with summa cum laude as well. So she graduated at the top of her class, and for Magdalene over here, she actually got put on academic probation. She there was one point where she didn't want to get her body skill up, and I was like, come on, Magdalene, you can do this. And yeah, she didn't want to get her body skill up. So, but luckily she got in gear and got that body skill up so that she could graduate college and things like that. So that's a good thing for Magdalene here. But anyways, yeah, she did graduate and moved out, and now she's living here with Dominique and her sister and her boyfriend. So now the reason why I have them living with these two is because they aren't able to have babies of their own. So if they're just going to live in a household alone, I might as well just have them live with these two. And this could also stop them from having a bunch of babies as well, since 2 slots of the household has been taken. So they could only have 3 more children if they wanted more. But since Magdalene is a family sim, I am assuming they may adopt. I am not exactly sure on that. Maybe they'll get married, maybe they won't. I don't know. They don't have a want to get married yet or anything. Let me click play and see what happens here. Yeah, see. Oh, and what do you want? She wants to become chief of staff, so she's going to join the hospital career. I love that for you, Dominique. She's going to be... I just love that she wants to be in the hospital career, and she wants to be the mad scientist. So they're both wanting to do something that matches their dream job or their aspiration. So that is pretty good. But anyways, yep, this is the Dreamer household, and let's move on to the next household. Welcome to the Gavigan household with the only one left in here, Noah Gavigan. So, yep, this big house that was filled with Sims to the brim is now only having one Sim in it, and he's a teenager living all by himself in this place. But Simon is coming back, so it's either he goes to college and leave this house vacant for Simon, or or he's here and Simon comes and then he goes to college. It goes either way. I don't know. It's really close. Really close here. I don't know. But anyway, yes, so this is Noah Gavigan, the youngest of the Gavigan clan. So, yeah, what's been going on with him? Nothing much. Other than, he got himself a girlfriend. He's actually dating Olivia Roseland. That is his girlfriend, the youngest of the Roseland clan. And so, yeah, he actually fell in love with her, did the woohoo, and went steady with her. He maxed his body skill, and then his mom and his dad died. So, yeah, right in the almost the middle, little over the middle of his teenagehood, his parents died. So, yeah, he is stuck having to live in this big house by himself. And it's a good thing that he has a girlfriend that loves him. And yeah, I have a feeling that he's going to spend most of his time out and about with his girlfriend and trying to keep his studies up so that he could get good scholarships. And as you could tell, he's really close to getting one for charisma and cleaning. So his skills look really good right now. So he's actually been studying a lot. Actually, Noah is the most studious teenager I've ever had. If I'm being honest. But anyways, yeah, this is Noah, lonely in the Gavigan household, and this is where his brother almost died, but his mom saved his life before she passed away. So, anyway, yep. Let's move on to the next household. Welcome to the Gavigan household with Isaiah, Tina, Elizabeth, Seraphina, and Angel. So, yep, this is the Gavigan household, redid and a little bit bigger and things like that. But yeah, so here is Isaiah. He's really wanting to go on an island vacation. He wants to take his girls to the island and have a great time and things like that. And I think possibly he may just end up tying the knot with Tina since they are already engaged and they have 3 daughters together. I mean, why the hell not? I mean, you're still engaged to her, and even if you are sleeping with other people, she knows about it, and you know about her conquests as well. So, I mean, meh. An open marriage. That's kind of what they got. But I think he's gonna take her to the islands, and they're just gonna have a private ceremony. His parents are dead, so he doesn't have to have a grand big thing to have all spectators watching them and judging them and things like that. So he's just gonna do it privately with Tina, and they're just gonna finally get married and just be together because it's been years. Again, the same with them, with Bo and Georgia. It's the same with them. They've been engaged for a very long time. So, again, I think if they're going to want to get engaged, I'm going to make them get married sooner or later. I guess I get to choose when they get married or not, depending on if they're jealous of their conquests. After their episode ended, he actually had a woohoo session with Opal Raymond. Yep, that was his first affairs with Opal. And then he had one with Cheryl, who was actually, oh my God. I just realized this person is with Anthony Picasso. Anyway, oof. And then, hopefully anyway, moving on. And then he had one with Melissa. But, okay, now I see what happened. So Cheryl caught him with Melissa and got jealous. All right. So he did the woohoo with Melissa. And then he had an affair with Teresa and had a woohoo with Teresa. Now, let me tell you, he actually went to a nightclub. And they had this whole bachelorette thing happening, or this party with all these girls. And he got in the middle of it, did a little dance for them, and actually woohooed the whole damn party during that. So this is what I'm envisioning this happening at the club. He just woohooed them all in succession. The last rahoo, Which also, if you're getting married, you shouldn't be woohooing anybody other than your spouse or your fiance. Honestly, that would be a deal breaker for me before the eve of the wedding to hear that you slept with a stripper. Yeah, no, we're good. Bye. But anyways, so yeah, he had a fun time out. He also, of course, slept with Shannon, because why not? And then his parents, Mary and Nathan, passed away. He actually got some money from them both. And then he had Angel. Now, Angel is an oopsie baby. Like, I put Tina on birth control and, had her like that. And she still ended up getting pregnant. So I actually went in to her settings here and see her birth control was on, and this sim cannot get pregnant. So I put her through surgery, and she has her her tubes tied now, so she cannot have any more babies. So he is a girl dad. So Zaya's got girls everywhere. Anyways, yeah, so then he had an affair with Ivy, with Beth, woohooed Asia, woohooed Andrea, woohooed Margaret. Like, he's been going to this nightclub frequenting it and meeting girls to woohoo, and some of them happen on the same night. So he's like pretty much a ladies' man through and through. He likes butts, so he's been getting some butts, and he cannot lie. But he actually got a big bonus at work as well, and he also got 50K. So, they're rolling in the dough right now. They actually got a lot of money to upgrade their house and do what they want with it. But that's also why he wants to go on an island vacation and take Tina with him, and their girls too, once Angel ages up to a child. But anywho, yes. So, yep, that's what's been happening with Isaiah here. Now with Tina, let's backtrack since she had the twins, Elizabeth and Serafina. So, she actually went on a Far East vacation with her family. They actually took her with them. So it was Trisha, Trent, and her little brother Tandy. I was playing in their household, and they actually took Tina with them to the Far East vacation. So she actually had fun there at the Far East, and one at Mahog, ate shirshi, did a couple things there and had a good time with her parents and her younger brother, just to get away from the kids and whatnot. But yeah, so shortly after that, she also reached platinum lifetime aspiration as well. So she's actually very fulfilled. She's very, very happy person. Despite thinking about Bo all the time and wondering how he's doing, she's still quite happy and fulfilled, mostly because she's in an open marriage situation here, and she's happy. They aren't jealous of each other. They get to live their life and still get to be together and have these babies, be surrounded by love and stuff. And so she's actually quite happy in this arrangement. The only thing though is she still thinks about Bo from time to time. I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you, Tina. I really don't know, honey. Bo is quite happy with Georgia, so he's not even thinking about you at all. I mean, I don't know what to tell you on that front. But as you can tell, she also had an affair. Corbin Gray is actually from Take Mizzou Village, from the vacation spot she went to. So she actually woohooed him. And then she woohooed Kiran Ramaswamy. That's right. Young Kiran actually grew up and became a romance sim as well. So that was crazy. And she also woohooed Skip in succession. So Kiran and Skip's stories together are crazy because Kiran and Skip are best friends, and they have this bet or whatever going on between them two. But anyways, yeah, so yeah, she woohooed both of them. I think that was in succession. I want to say this was like almost a menage a trois situation here. So, yeah, she had a good night that night with them boys. But anyways, yeah, Tandy finally went to college. And then she finally had her youngest daughter, Angel, and they named the baby Angel mostly because of the death of his parents. So they really wanted a nice name for the youngest, and they named her Angel because he was in mourning of his parents and things like that. Because you know that they've had, their family over to spend time with the kids, and since his parents never got to meet Angel, we just named her Angel. Anyway, so yeah, Seraphina and Elizabeth are now teenagers, as you can quite possibly tell. But anyways, she kissed Skip for the first time, and she caught Skip cheating. So she's quite mad at Skip right now, for doing things and whatnot. Like, look at this bolt situation happening, and look at this bolt situation happening. Like, damn. But anyway, um, yeah, so anyway, like for some reason she doesn't get jealous of her fiance, but she gets jealous of Skip for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. But anyways, yep, so that's that. Now let's go on to the first twin of the Gavagans, Elizabeth. So Elizabeth actually grew up to be a lesbian, so she likes girls. So I was like, this is perfect because we have what other lesbian waiting for a girlfriend of hers. And lucky for us, or for me, or for them, lucky for this situation, they actually found each other attractive. So she is actually dating Matilda Geek at the moment. That is her girlfriend. That is her girl, and she's quite happy to have a girlfriend and live her life with her girlfriend. So yeah, that's very interesting. And then we have Seraphina Gavigan, and Seraphina here is a romance sim. So oh boy, now what can I say about Seraphina? So she actually fell in love with Casper, kissed and made out with Casper, and I was really considering Seraphina being the matriarch of the Goth household. Now, that's the first thing I think about with the Goths. Like, who's going to be the matriarch to my male Sims? Because obviously, I would want a male Sim to take over the Goth manor to keep the Goth name. So I was like, it may end up being Casper because he has two younger sisters. There's no other males. Like, it depends, but I'm kind of hoping that Lucy has a little boy and he is not a romance sim, for heaven's sake. I think if I have a little boy that is not a romance sim, he will be the patriarch of the Goth Manor instead of Casper. But right now, it's going to fall into Casper's hands, and he's going to be the patriarch of the Goth Manor. But anywho, it's kind of fun with him being a romance sim, though, because it's not set in stone for one sim. He can choose between a whole plethora of sims, I should say. But I think Casper's the only one that she's been intimate with. She does not find Michael Audimus attractive in the slightest. Nobody finds Michael Audimus attractive in the slightest. And oddly enough, he doesn't find any of the teenagers attractive as well in the slightest. So, despite Michael being a family sim, I found that insane. And then we have little Angel here, who is sitting here looking all sad because she wants her mama. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious, little bitty Angel. Anyways, oh my god. But yeah, this is the Gavigan household. I don't know, it was pretty crazy, but yep, this is them. And let's move on to the next household. Welcome to the Gavigan household once again. Now, you're going to be hearing the same last name if they have boys, if my Sims have boys. But anyways, yeah, welcome to the Gavigan household with Ezekiel, Katerina, Evangeline, and Gregory. So this is where we're at. So yeah, let's start with Ezekiel here. Ezekiel is one of the children from Mary and Nathan. He is the second born. So yeah, I mean, nothing really much has happened with him. He met Katerina in college. They got together. They moved into this house. He fell in love with her, and she ended up pregnant with twins, Evangeline and Gregory. And I think this is an ACR thing. I don't think they wanted to have babies yet, but alas, that's what happened. They had Evangeline and Gregory, and he actually reached platinum lifetime aspiration. So he is secondary grilled cheese at the momento. So that's kind of like fuzzying all of his wants here is the grilled cheese aspiration. But I suppose that's why he hasn't asked Katerina to marry him yet. But anywho, yeah. So yeah, this is pretty much his life. He's just here at home, being a level 8 of the law enforcement career. So he's doing very, very well. And actually, his partner, which I also have a picture of that, is actually Brittany Picasso. That is his partner on the force. So yeah, that's that. Now with Katerina, she is a knowledge sim, and her secondary aspiration is popularity. So yeah, this is Katerina. She is the mother of the twins. And yeah, pretty much all she wants to do is get her skills up for her career. And she is currently a gamer, a level 5 gamer at the moment. So she's doing extremely well in her career. And she's actually studying cooking right now because that's one of the things that she wants to learn and master. So yeah, and then we have Miss Evangeline Gavigan, and she is friends with Sylvia, and she wants to be friends with Tony too. So we'll see about that. And for Gregory here, he's actually friends with Tori. He's friends with Carnelian. He's almost friends with his sister, but yeah. He's getting to know his uncles here. He got to know Isaiah, and he's getting to know Noah a little bit as well. I think we'll invite Noah over and keep him company so he's not alone and things like that. I think I want to do that for Noah for with considering his brothers and sister, and just invite him over and have him be a part of their family so he's not lonely in that house. But anywho, yep, this is the Agavigan household, and let's move on to the next household. Welcome to the Geek household, where we have Chester, Lindsay, Bethany, Ernest, and Matilda. So, yeah, Chester is actually employed in the medicine career despite his ex wife's husband being in it. And he's actually chief of staff. So, he's actually level 10 of the medicine career, which is absolutely fantastic. He's actually Dawn's boss. that is that is fantastic. Anyway, and he actually has Dawn working the night shift, and Dawn's been stuck working the night shift ever since he reached the top of the career, which is hilarious to me. But anyways, he also reached a platinum lifetime aspiration. Let me see. Oh yeah, and he's secondary popularity as well. So yeah, we got him all set up and nice. But anywho, yeah. So after all this is said and done, he got married to Lindsay, and then they had a daughter named Matilda. So this is Matilda over here, their daughter. And yeah, so he spent his time raising his daughter, and then he took his family to a Far East vacation. So they had a great time there. He maxed the cleaning skill, maxed the logic skill, and maxed the mechanical skill. So he's been over here maxing his skills, and currently he wants to work on his creativity skills. So hopefully we can get that maxed out for him before he actually passes away and things like that. But anywho, yeah. So he reached the top of the medicine career, and his son, Ernest, from Nina Caliente, has graduated and moved back home with his girlfriend here. So, yeah, so there's that. We have Lindsay. She's currently studying the lifelong happiness. Yep. She actually wants to become a witch, which is very interesting to say the least, that she wants to become a witch. I might actually let her do that. That would make it interesting, though. She's at the very end of her life. Becoming a witch would be quite cool, honestly. Be the very good witch, I would say. I don't know. But maybe she could pass down her witchiness to one of the kids, and maybe one of them would want to be a witch or whatever. But I highly doubt it, because it's only like the knowledge sims that want to be supernatural and things like that. So, I mean, we already have a werewolf in Pleasantview now, so why not a witch? But anyway, yeah, so yeah, after she had Matilda, she was getting promotions. She had a great time at Take Mizzou Village with her family. And she actually reached the top of the culinary career. So she is actually level 10 in the culinary career. So she actually did it, and he actually did it. And they are living great lives together. And they actually, I mean, look at their money situation. They're really good with their funds. So we're going to talk about Matilda before we go to the other two over here. So Matilda, as you know, is dating Elizabeth. So she actually has a girlfriend. I actually thought for sure that Matilda was not going to find somebody because no everybody that was growing up was straight. So I was like, oh my gosh, there's no lesbians being grown up. But then Elizabeth grew up, and I was like, oh my gosh, perfect. So, and they're closer in age. I think Matilda's a little bit older, but not too much older than Elizabeth. So yeah, them two are quite happy together, and I can't wait to see how they do. Like, you can tell they got two bolts together. So yeah, they're quite happy together. And she's just been living the teenage life, sneaking out with Elizabeth and dating her. Now let's come out here to Bethany Burb. She is actually a popularity sim. She is the third daughter of John and Jennifer Burb. So Lucy and Audrey's younger sister, and Edwin's older sister. Yeah. But anyways, yep, so here she is. She moved into the geek household with her boyfriend, Ernest. So, yep, she ended up dating Ernest as a teenager. I don't think they officially were exclusive to each other. However, she claimed him, he claimed her, and as you could tell, she wants to flirt with him and things like that. So, but anyways, yeah. Her sister graduated with summa cum laude, as you may or may not know. And Bethany graduated. She just graduated. She didn't have any honors tied to her graduation ceremony or anything. But yeah, she actually became a big woman on campus. So she made a lot of friends. She was one of the Sims that I was focusing on in that in that household. Sorry, Anthony. But anyway, yeah, I was focusing on her because she really wanted to become a big woman on campus. So basically, how you become a big woman on campus is that you see this bar right here, her influence meter. It will tell you how many friends you need to attain the next influence level. And when you make more friends and this reaches the very tip top bar area, you become the big woman or the big man on campus. So yeah, so she actually ended up getting that done. She maxed the creativity skill before she graduated. And yep, and now she's ready to start her life here with Ernest. Now, Ernest here, he graduated. He didn't get any honors tied to his name as well. Despite what he looks like and his name being Geek, he actually did not end up taking after his father. He's actually a mix of his father and his mother. So, studies is a huge deal for Ernest here. But, anywho, yeah, So yeah, yeah, he's just happy to be with Bethany, and I think Bethany is the only one he's ever been with, ever. So, and I think it's the same for Bethany too. Yeah, it's the same for Bethany too. Yeah, he's the only one she's ever been with. So, they just like they didn't say they were going steady, but they were exclusive to each other. So I felt like it was a right time for them to move in together and have a great time together. So I'm going to click play just to see what their wants come out to be. He wants to flirt, and she wants to make friends with the family inside. So that's really nice of her wanting to be friends with his family. So, but anyways, yep, this is the geek household, and let's move on to the next household.